All right, so I want to break down the baseball card for June 18th real quick. First game on the board, Detroit Tigers at Pittsburgh, I almost said Penguins, Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates minus 156 over under 8.5. Daniel Norris, Mitch Keller going for the Pirates. The Tigers are 1-5 their last 6 interleague games versus a team with a losing record. They're 2-8 in Norris's last 10 starts after allowing 5 runs or more in their previous game. 0-4 Norris's last 4 interleague starts. Pirates 1-5 their last 6 home games versus a team with a losing record. They haven't been playing well lately. Pirates 1-7 their last 8 games following a win. There's really no good trends in this one. Tigers 0-4 their last 4 meetings and 1-4 the last 5 meetings in Pittsburgh. I would recommend taking the Pirates minus the 150 in that one. Philadelphia at Washington, same game as yesterday, Arrieta and Corbin. I'm just going to give it to you real quick. I said Nationals first 5 money line would probably be my lean in that one. Tampa Bay at New York, Yankees minus 157 over under 9.5. Stanek versus J.A. Happ. The Rays haven't been playing good baseball lately, and Stanek's 1-6 his last 7 road starts with a team versus a team with a winning record. The Yankees are 7-0 in Happ's last 7 starts on 4 days rest, 4-1 in his last 5 home starts. The Rays are 1-4 their last 5 meetings. They're 7-20 their last 27 meetings in New York. I would definitely lean the Yankees once again, as I had them yesterday, and they came through. Angels at Toronto, Skaggs versus Marcus Stroman. Toronto plus 115 over under 9.5. This is just another junk game that I don't really feel I need to mention anything, but I guess I will. You got the Angels 1-4 in Skaggs' last 5 road starts versus a team with a losing record. He's not a good pitcher at all. The Blue Jays are 2-10 their last 12 when their opponents allow 5 runs or more in their previous game. Blue Jays 1-4 in Sherman's last 5 starts versus a team with a losing record. Both these teams are junk, honestly. If we go head-to-head real quick, the Angels are 7-2 their last 9 meetings in Toronto. Angels are 4-0 their last 4 meetings. Honestly, the Angels is probably the way to go in this game. I would actually lean Toronto plus 115. I know the trends are all pushing everything towards LA, but I think Toronto actually upsets LA in this one. Houston Astros at Cincinnati Reds. Reds plus 165 at home, over under 8.5. Verlander, Discofalani, and the Reds have owned. They have owned the Astros when they come to Cincinnati, so I don't understand this line. I know Verlander is one of the best pitchers in the league. Astros 6-1 their last 7 following a loss. They lost yesterday. I told you guys the Reds would win, and they ended up coming through. Astros 25-5 his last 30 road starts. 14-3 his last 17 starts on 5 days of rest. 6-0 in Verlander's last 6 road starts versus a team with a losing record. He pitches well against shitty teams. The Reds are, I guess, considered a shitty team. Reds are 1-6 in Discofalani's last 7 home starts. He hasn't been pitching well. Obviously, everything's pointing towards the Astros in this game. Astros are 8-21 their last 29 meetings in Cincinnati, and 19-43 the last 62 meetings overall. I'm going to go with the Reds to get on Verlander today, plus 165. The Astros, they're suspect. They really are. And the Reds have owned them. So I'm going to go Cincinnati plus 165 in that one. Mets at Braves. DeGrom and Teheran. Julio Teheran, who's their ace. Plus 114 over under 8.5. The Braves have just been playing outstanding baseball. The Mets are 2-10 their last 12 road games versus a team with a winning home record. I told you the Mets are a joke, and they suck on the road. Mets, DeGrom's 0-5 his last 5 road starts, 1-6 his last 7 Tuesday starts. Braves 9-1 their last 10 home games, 10-1 their last 11 versus the right-handed starter. 10-1 in Teheran's last 11 starts when an opponent allows 5 runs or more in a previous game. 6-1 his last 7 home starts. Braves is obviously the play in this one. I'll never bet the Mets. Mets 7-15 their last 22 meetings, 2-5 their last 7 in Atlanta. 1-6 in DeGrom's last 7 starts versus the Braves. And DeGrom is 0-4 his last 4 road starts against the Braves. So I would say take the Braves plus 114. That would be my lean in that one. Cleveland at Texas. Zach Plesac against Adrian Sampson. This game's pretty much even. Indians minus 125, Texas plus 105, over under 10.5. I hate betting with Texas, and I hate betting against them. Indians 5-0 their last 5 following a loss. Indians 0-4 their last 4 versus AL West. Rangers are 6-0 their last 6 during Game 2 of a series. They're 4-1 their last 5 home games versus a right-handed starter. They're 4-1 in Samson's last 5 home starts. Samson's 1-4 his last 5 starts after allowing 2 runs or less in their previous game. Head-to-head real quick. Indians 10-4 the last 14 meetings. Indians 5-2 their last 7 meetings in Texas. That's good enough for me. Both these pitchers are suspect. I'd actually take the Indians like I recommended yesterday, which they lost. I think they'll actually bounce back and win this one today. White Sox versus Cubs. Cubs minus 225, over under 8.5. Ivan Nova, Cole Hamels, we'll skip that one. Boston at Minnesota. Boston minus 125 on the road, over under 9.5. David Price, Michael Pineda, we're going to skip that one. Miami at St. Louis Cardinals. Yamamoto against Flaherty. St. Louis minus 250, over under 8. We're going to skip that one. Colorado at Arizona. Senzaletta against Kelly. Arizona minus 152, over under 10. I'm not going to get into that game. Most likely the game's going to go over 10. Baltimore at Oakland. Oakland minus 238, over under 9. Don't know the pitcher's name for the Baltimore. It's a weird name, Gabriel something. Against Brett Anderson. We're going to skip that one. Kansas City at Seattle. Homer Bailey on the road pitching against UC Kikuchi. Seattle minus 132, over under 9. I bet Seattle 4 times in the last 2 weeks. Client plays, and I'm 0-4. Fuck Seattle. And fuck Kansas City too. I'm not even going to talk about that game. Seattle should bounce back and win this game, but I'm not touching it. That's a recommendation. I would say stay away, but Seattle should win. San Francisco at LA Dodgers. Dodgers minus 260, over under 7.5. We're going to skip that one. And then Milwaukee at San Diego. Brandon Woodruff against Logan Allen. Brewers minus 160, over under 7.5. The Brewers lost yesterday to the Padres. The Padres got the job done. Brewers 0-7 their last 7 road games versus a left-handed starter. But Woodruff is 9-0 his last 9 starts with 5 days of rest. He's been pitching pretty well lately. 7-1 his last 8 starts after allowing 2 runs or less in the previous game. Maybe that's why they're minus 150 or whatever they were. Minus 160, actually. Brewers 17-5 his last 22 starts. Padres 1-4 his last 5. When an opponent scores 2 runs or less in their previous game. 2-6 their last 8 games following a win. Everything's leaning towards the Milwaukee Brewers on this one. Brewers 6-1 their last 7 meetings in San Diego. Brewers 9-4 their last 13 meetings overall. I would have to lean the Milwaukee Brewers tonight on the road against the Padres. And there you go. Those are the picks. If you didn't hear the free play, the social media play of the day was the LA Dodgers first 5 minus 1/2. If you want my client play, 702-715-2019. I got the call center about ready to go. If you guys want to call in, 702-715-2019. I will have a 1-800 number, I'm pretty sure, when we open in 6 days. I'm very excited about this. I've turned my life from nothing into being a millionaire. Honestly, I make more money doing this than anybody. I've made millions of dollars doing this. I can sell anybody. You get me on the phone with anybody. I'm the best sales guy in the world. Not to mention my picks. I can back up everything I say. I win more fucking games than anybody in this industry. This is a multi-million-dollar industry. I want big clients. If you bet $500 a game, if you bet $1,000 a game, get a hold of me. I'm only charging $100 for the week, $100 for 7 days of service. You'll win. I only give out 1 game a day. That's it. I'm 12-3, my last 15. I win more games than anybody. I have the most stalkers. Out of all handicappers, I have the most stalkers because they are jealous of my success, of what I've done in the past, and they still stalk me. I'm still getting stalked every day. We try to avoid it as much as we can. We document it for future reference. And I'm just getting stalked like crazy. It's called jealousy. It's guys in my industry, competition, guys that want to pretend to be me online. I can't even have a Twitter account because there's been so many clowns pretending to be me on Twitter, going on there, talking shit to people, pretending to be Kris BARR. Everybody wants to be me in this industry. And it's I love it. I love it, honestly. Like, everybody wants to be a successful guy like me. I'm in Vegas all the time. I'm at the Westgate all the time. I see people all the time. And nobody ever gives me shit except for online. It's because these guys hide behind a computer. They stalk me behind a computer. Will Selly chick, the dude is obsessed with my dick. And that's the honest truth. And I know where he's coming from. He's out of Vegas. And I know whose team he's on. He's on the stalker team with all those other guys that are jealous as fuck, who pretend they're millionaires, who pretend that they make money. They don't make shit. You'll never see a documented record from any of those guys in Vegas because they all suck. Look at SBR Sports Picks. They document their picks and they give out their picks for free. Those guys are hitting like 30%. That's exactly what this business is about. There's a bunch of losers in this industry. I'm not a loser. I'm starting a call center. I'm doing it right. I'm not giving out both sides. There's nobody in this industry that wins more games. We'll see you guys tomorrow.